Hello, welcome to Advent Adventures. Today is Thursday, the 16th of December, in the third week of Advent. This is the last day of the first part of Advent. You know, for the first part of Advent, we've been listening to stories as the prophets make promises, and we see that fulfilled in the gospel, that Jesus is the fulfillment of all that we had been expecting and more. And so today, we hear in the gospel these two messengers who come from John the Baptizer. John is in prison at this point in the gospel, and he's hearing about Jesus, but you know, Jesus doesn't preach like John. He doesn't call people to repentance. He calls them to be more. You know, he doesn't talk about sin. He talks about love. And he's very different from John, and so John sends his two disciples and says, excuse me, I would like to know, are you the one or should we look for someone else? And Jesus said, well, look at what I do. The deaf hear, the lame walk, the blind have their eyes opened, the dead are raised, and the poor have the good news preached to them. What are you looking for? Anything more than that? I'm sure that's what they went back and told John, you know, that he's the one. He's it. We can trust him. He may not be like you, John, but that's okay. He's still the promise of God come to life in our midst. And I like that because, you know, sometimes we wonder too. We wonder if God is with us. We wonder if we're doing the right thing. We're wondering what we should do. There's just lots of questions always that kind of swirl in the life and the mind of everyone who tries to be faithful. And I keep coming back to that story. Are you the one? Yeah. You know, it's not always easy to follow the Lord. It's not always that, you know, we're protected from difficult things. Sometimes we have to go through those. But you know, he's the one. He's the one. There's no one else. There's no one else. Today, on this last day of the first part of Advent, we celebrate that fact. He's the one. May our faith, our trust, and our hope in him grow so that we might know the joy of his presence. For the reality is that joy is not the absence of suffering, but it's the presence of God. And he is present to you and me. Happy Advent. God bless.